Hey guys, how's it going? It is Smalls, and in today's video we are going to be talking about the new Combat Master update. So it's been a year since we last got an update, but let me just say, about 7 months ago I made a video called The Problem with Combat Master, my main issues with Combat Master, and my main issues with Combat Master at the time were the longevity of the game, the lack of updates, and balance issues. And to be honest, I think they've fixed a lot of those issues that I once had 7 months ago. But let's quickly talk about all the new things they've added in this newest update. So we got 3 new maps: High Rise, which I thought it was going to be High Rise from Call of Duty, but it isn't. It is actually its own original map. Egypt, and Pools. And Pools, if you guys have played Pixel Gun 3D before, it is the exact same map. We got a new kill chain, which is the minigun, double XP tokens, a new battle pass, new modes, SND and gun game, zip lines, completionist camos, normal camos, a gunsmith stats, a new free bundle called the Support Ukraine bundle, the shooting range, and new guns, which is the SIS MCX, the AK, the VKTR. And we're going to be talking about all the additions separately and giving a review of each addition. And then at the end, we're going to give a review of this overall update. But let's first talk about the new maps. 3 maps isn't bad. It does suck that we had to wait almost a full year for this. So High Rise, it is actually a pretty cool map, and it is the map that you're watching on the screen right now. Egypt, it is a little open. I personally don't like it. It also doesn't fit the new mode, which is SND. And we got Pools, which is very unoriginal. And since this game is already copying Call of Duty, it's kind of does suck that they're copying Pixel Gun 3D now. I feel like they could have gone with something a little bit more original. And the fact that they named it Pools 2 kind of sucks. As soon as I saw it, it immediately reminded me of Pixel Gun. And then we got the new kill chain. It was nothing really that crazy. We have the nuke, the minigun. So let's say you go on the streak. One thing that does suck is that if you do die with it without activating the minigun, you'll lose it. Also, if you die with it, obviously you lose it too once you're using it. But it's really nothing that interesting in my opinion. It is a really cool kill streak though, something new. I honestly thought it was going to be a normal weapon when I first saw it, because all these leaks that I just talked about, or all these additions, were talked about in the Discord server for Combat Master. Double XP tokens aren't really nothing new, nothing crazy to really go, really be hyped about. And then we got the new battle pass, which in my personal opinion, I really don't like. I mean, it's just a battle pass. It's pretty much just filler content. And one thing that I saw is that right after the update, a day after the update, people already had it maxed out. So they had to have paid for it. Because one thing is that it's incredibly hard to get XP in this game. It's tedious and it's hard and time consuming. Next is the modes, which is SND and gun game. Yeah, it's 2 modes, but in my personal opinion, again, I think it's 2 of the best modes they could have added. So now we have TDM, free-for-all, SND, and gun game. SND, gun game, and free-for-all are 3 of the best modes, and they're also pretty good content-wise, especially in SND where everyone's probably going to be toxic. I think one suggestion would be to add voice chat. That would be kind of cool. Maybe proximity voice chat too, because then it would just add on to the toxicity. And then we got zip lines, which is very lazy content, and I wouldn't even really call it content. I think it's just a way for the developers to just be like, yeah, we added something new. It's zip lines. Not every map has them though. I think one of the maps that are better suited for zip lines is the High Rise map. I think one of the other maps, Egypt has them, and one other map that was here in the original game or in the original release. Next is the completionist camos and the normal camos. So it just works like Call of Duty. It's a set of challenges where you have to grind and then you'll get camos. The completionist camos though do kind of suck. They're all animated just with different colors. I definitely think that developers should try to fix that, because honestly they're not that interesting if they're all that animated. So they're not really something to go crazy about either. Next we got the gunsmith, which is something I've been waiting for over a year. And every gun has over 80 levels, which is nice. There's a lot of attachments, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of videos on troll loadouts. But the thing is, like I said earlier, XP is incredibly tedious, hard, and time consuming. It just takes so long just to level up your weapon. I've played over 50 matches, and one of my highest level weapons is level 11, which it isn't really that good. But honestly, once they fix that XP issue, I think the gunsmith is definitely something to go crazy about. Next is personal stats, so you'll get to see your you can't see your KD, but you can see the gun level up. You can see how many kills you've gotten. You can see a lot of in-depth personal stats, which is actually kind of cool. It's a very small feature, but it's definitely something a lot of players were expecting and waiting for. Next is the free bundle. Nothing to go crazy about either. It's just a free bundle. You do get one of the newer guns, the SIS MCX. You'll get that one. It is actually a pretty cool weapon. It is the one that I'm trying to level up just because it is new. And then also we have the shooting range. And one thing that I do appreciate is that the shooting range doesn't have any loading screen. So if you go into the gunsmith of your favorite weapon or the weapon that you're trying to customize, you can just press the shooting range on the top right or in the top middle. It is really nice that there isn't no loading screens, and the shooting range also has a lot of features inside of it. It has a little like aim labs type of feature in there. It's really cool. It's definitely a lot better than Call of Duty's shooting range. And then we also got the new guns. It's only 3. It's not really something I'm really excited about. There's technically 4 new weapons, but the Uzi came out almost a year ago as well. But I still have to unlock those. The gun game, like I said, kind of allows you to test out those new weapons, because pretty much every single gun is in the gun game mode, which is a really nice touch. And the overall download size for the update was 520 megabytes, which it isn't a lot just because, for example, Call of Duty Mobile takes about 15-20 gigs. So I think this game takes about 1 gigabyte. I'm not too sure, but the game is still not that heavy. It also looked like there's a feature missing, which is the BR. If you're in the Discord for Combat Master, you can see that they hyped up the BR a lot, as they were showing a lot of leaks for the mode itself. But there was no release date for the BR. So I'm assuming they're still working on it. I wonder when that's going to release. I wonder how long it's going to take, because we did wait a full year for this update. But I'm pretty disappointed just because why would they hype up the BR if they are going to release it with the main update, which in my opinion isn't really a good idea to do. There's one little thing that bothered me a little bit once I looked into the settings, which is that there's no way to ADS and hipfire on the same screen. You can either have it to where you tap the fire button, you ADS, or you hipfire. You can't have both. So yeah, you have 2 shooting buttons on the screen, but they do the exact same thing, which I don't know the point of that. I think the developer should definitely implement that. I think it's gonna make it a better gameplay experience for the player. And also, one of the other issues that I had is the XP. It is tedious and time consuming because there's over 80 levels on the guns. I think it should be a little bit easier. Overall, I think it was a great update, but it had bad update releases. Now what I mean by that is that instead of making the players wait a full year, they could have had multiple releases throughout the year. So for example, there's over 10 individual features here. They could have implemented those throughout the year. So for example, every 2 months, every 3 months, they could have implemented an update, and I feel like more videos would have been made on the game. Even with my somewhat negative review of the game, I think it is still one of the best alternatives to Call of Duty and Warzone alike once that BR releases. It doesn't take a lot of space, so it's going to be great for a lot of users or players that don't really have the best of phones in terms of like storage space. And this game is undoubtedly one of the best first-person shooters out there, alongside with Battle Prime. These games aren't even AAA. Most games that are on mobile that aren't console ports or PC ports tend to be pay to win. They have clunky mechanics. They have a ton of ads in the games. But Battle Prime and Combat Master are probably some of the best games you can play if you don't really have a lot of space. Because for example, Apex Legends and Call of Duty take quite a bit of space. And we also have Battlefield coming out this year. We have other games coming out this year. But like I said, Combat Master is one of the best games out there right now, alongside with Battle Prime in terms of first-person shooters. And even with my somewhat negative review of the game, like I said earlier, I don't think the game itself is that bad. The update wasn't terrible either, but I don't know, for a lot of people, probably wasn't worth that 1 year wait, including me. I just feel like they could have had that better release date. And I feel like the game would only die if the developers release a terrible update. That wasn't this update. It wasn't terrible. This is still one of the best games out there. I'm still going to support this game. This game still has a lot of potential. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and leave a comment down below. I really have high hopes for this game. I really hope they release some good stuff, maybe some more original stuff, instead of just trying to copy everything from Call of Duty Mobile or Call of Duty in general. But other than that, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Show me your with it. Iced out teeth. She loves when I'm grinning.
You know I'ma tell you what to do.